Greetings, everybody. I bring you greetings from Serekunda in the Gambia. And it's Sunday, February 16th, and there's a great celebration going on today. So the host family, not really host family, but the family I came with, the brother, which I've shared in previous videos, has a compound. And the brother has decided to throw a feast in celebration of our being here. And so the festivities are getting ready to begin here really soon, but I had to come and share some things that happened on yesterday and a little bit of just kind of where my mind is. And so throughout the week, I have been meeting so many different people. Some people I remember very well. Some people, it's just kind of in passing. And had an opportunity last night after the electricity went off. And it's so funny because like the electricity goes off regularly here. And of course, us Americanos, we're like, oh my God, it's hot. Man, can we get some air? The fans are, we're complaining about, how hot it is, and there's no light and there's no electricity, and it's so normal over here. And we almost look at them like, what's the matter with y'all? Because y'all not responding to this crazy stuff. But what's crazy to us is normal to them. So it's nothing for the lights to go off because the electricity is on a timer. And when it goes off, you have to go back and put in codes, and you have to pay for surges of electricity, or for lack of a better term, time, so that you can have the electricity. And so, like I said, we're complaining about it. With all that being said, it was very hot, and it was late last night, but there was a really good breeze going on outside. So I decided to go outside, and I feel like God led me outside. And I have several God stories, but when I got outside, I had my iPad, and everybody kept asking me. They said, Dinero, because the word got around that I did a ceremonial dance. And it's like, man, we want to see you dance. We want to see you. And so I'm going through my iPad, and I'm showing them all of these videos. And I get to talking to this one young man named Yaya. And I can't even put into words this conversation. So I'm going to try to condense it down to maybe 3 or 4 minutes. But we talked for about 4 hours into the morning. I ended up coming into the house at about 2 o'clock in the morning. But as this young man began to tell me a story, he began to talk about the dream of doing better and being better. He talked about how poor Africa is, and how the only thing he longs to do is to be able to be successful. And part of that dream is him being able to go to Europe. He plays football, and he's very good at football, but somewhere along the line of the dream of playing soccer over in Europe, his dreams were crushed. And so he told me that whenever he goes to play soccer down here in the bush, in the grass, all he could think about is how hard it is, and that there may not ever be an opportunity for him to leave to be able to do something in Africa. And I'm telling you, as I sat there and listened to this man talk, my heart just wept, because I would never know how that feels. And when I say this, America has not been right or kind to black people. They haven't. To a certain extent, they still aren't. Not economically, it's not equal. But to be in America and to feel a sense of no hope, I will never understand. Because as long as there's a will, there's a way in America. And these stories that I'm hearing, they just take me to a place of just true understanding of, Dinero, don't complain. Don't complain about what you don't have, because even in the middle of the little that you don't have, there's people who have so much more that they don't have. And so Yaya talked, man, and even with tears in his eyes at times, he just talked about how he would love to just reach his dream, but he feels like that's no longer an option. And so in talking to him, I encouraged him to go back and play soccer. I said, Yaya, don't let that stop you, man. I said, the only thing that we can have in life is hope. And I grabbed his hand, and I opened up his hand, and I closed it and said, man, now your hand is full of hope. Hold on to hope, man. Don't go and let soccer be this memory of something that hurts you. And he began to tell me about having a team that he played for, and how the coach was like, you can't play because he didn't have the proper shoes. And just devastation after devastation as he told me the story. But the most prolific thing that he told me was that he tried to leave. And his journey started in Gambia, and it went into Nigeria, and then went into Liberia, and then he walked the Sahara Desert, and he talked to me about how late at night, it took him 6 hours, the entire journey just through the Sahara. And he said the only thing that he had was moonlight to get him from point A to point B, because the people that he was supposed to meet with left him because he had gotten there too late. All of that for him to get almost to the water, to get over to what he thought would be the European waters, the European side of the waters, and he was caught and he was sent back. And I'm telling you, man, to hear this story of desperation and wanting to have a better life, he reminded me, he said, De Niro, tell the people in America my story. He said, tell them that this is how Africana is, this is how Africans live, and this is where we are. And man, it was just so emotional, because I'm watching this young man, he's 24 years old, like I said, with tears in his eyes at times, to talk about his dream. He said he never told his mom. He's like, you can't tell mom. He said, because, mom would worry. He said his mom and his family, he didn't even know he was going to try to make this journey. But, after, sitting with him and talking to him more, I encouraged him. And I told him, I said, I can't make you promise, because I can't even hold you to a promise once I go back to America. I said, but I encourage you to go back and play. And he's like, you know what? He said, I'm going to listen to you and I'm going to take your advice. He said, I'll start training again. And man, I as a coach, not even America, Africa thing, but as a coach, for somebody to tell me that they have hope again because of me encouraging them, I can't tell you what they did to me. And I came in here and I got in my suitcase and I started pulling out shirts and compression tops and, shorts and sweatpants. And I've given away so many clothes. My suitcase probably is going to be a little lighter when I go back. But it just does my heart well. And I'm not doing it because I want them to think about, oh, De Niro's a great guy because he gave me clothes. You can't help but to. If you have any type of compassion or empathy inside of you, you can't help but want to help these people. And I keep saying these people, my people. But God, I'm here. I'm still here. And this is what I'm doing and being. And so my people. And, with that being said, I wanted to share that with you this morning before we go out and continue the celebration of them welcoming us here home. Just to know that we have nothing to complain about, nothing. Just always keep life in perspective, because there's always somebody who's doing much worse. And the sense of entitlement, the complaining, the negativity, man, it's not going to come out of me. And I'm not that type of person anyway, but even the very thought of complaining about something because I don't think it's right or fair, that's gone from me because of this experience. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And so be encouraged by that. I hope you guys are encouraged. And just remember that there's so much to be gained out of this life. And all we have is hope. And with hope, we can go a long way, especially in America, because it's a land of opportunity. Once again, it has not been great to us as Black people. Matter of fact, it's been bad in a lot of ways. But we still have opportunities that, the Afrikaners don't have. So with that being said, I say peace be the journey. This is Africa 2020, creating memories while leaving a legacy. Until the next time. So I'm sitting here today with my buddy Morrow, one of the first persons I met when we got over here to share Kunda, and our spirits just like connected. So I wanted to have him talk to you guys just a little bit about some of to really dispel some rumors about Africa and what Western civilization thinks or have been told, or the narrative that's been written. So would you do me a favor, Morrow? Would you explain a little bit about Gambia and how it is and how the tribes come together, as opposed to the dysnomia that you guys are all at war with?
Yeah, thank you very much, Denario. My name is Morrow Jabai. Born here, raised here, brought up here. I think the West has a misconception about Africa. So, but I can talk a little bit about the Gambia. That's my country. The population of the Gambia is about 2 million people. Was colonized by Great Britain. We got our independence in 1965. And then we have about 7 tribes living together. The Mandingos form the majority, about 40%, and the Fullers come next, and then the Wolofs tribe, and the Jolas, the Sarahules, the Sereres, the Akus. The Akus are the free slaves from England. They came to Sierra Leone, they came and settled in the Gambia. So their language is Creole, broken English, but still they are part of us and we live hand in hand. But I think it's a misconception when people said we kill each other, we fight, we intermarry. The tribes get married to one another. Though we all have our way of life, our traditions, our cultures, the way we do our things, but then we live together in peace and harmony. So that's the most important, that's the basic thing I want to know, and I want you to know. And the second point is Gambia is crime-free. You hardly see somebody been stabbed here to death, or not to talk about shooting. We don't have that here. The crime rate here is about 0.1. So I want the West to know that we live in peace, we live in harmony. Yeah.
With that being said, Gambia is a Muslim country. Another one of the misnomers is that all Muslims are going to blow up America, or they're suicide people. Could you explain a little bit about just the nature of Islam and the way of living from an Islamic perspective?
Yeah, I think in the Gambia we have about 95% are Muslims, 5% are Christians, but we live in peace, we live in harmony. Muslims attend Christian programs, Christian attend Muslim ceremonies. For example, when we are here, Muslims have two feasts, the Korite and then the Topaski. We all celebrate it together. You don't know this person is a Christian, this person is Muslim. And then the Christmas and New Year, when they comes, even though the 95% population, you would think that the whole of Gambia are Christians because of the interrelation we have. So I think it's a misconception too about Islam, that the Islamists want to bomb America. That is not true. I do quite agree that there are some extremists there who do certain things to the extreme, but the majority of Muslims are peaceful. They are God-fearing, and they're peaceful, and they live in peace, and they love mankind, and they love one another. So that's also important.
That's good. Thank you for that. Last question. Well, the next question. Could you explain the importance of feasting together, becoming one? Because one of the things that I've noticed is that we all gather when we eat. We come together and we eat together. Almost at times we eat from one spoon, or eat with our hands. Could you explain the significance of that, please?
Yeah, the significance of eating together, like we all come together and eat in one basin. Okay, men will eat together. For example, men will eat with boys to train them about life, about humanity, how to interact. And then women will eat with girls, young girls. They will eat together to train them about how to go about in life, to train them about war, to have respect in society wherever they go. So, but the most important thing of eating together is it brings coexistence, it brings understanding, it brings connection to us. We have sympathy for one another. That's the most important thing. For example, where I am from, in my village, we have about 50 family members in our company. It's a large family. All the men will eat together, all the women will eat together, and then you cannot know that this person is this person's child or these children. We all bring them together. We are one. We are connected. So we eat together. That's not like this person will take a plate and go and eat. No, we eat together in one basin. All the men and all the women will eat one together in one basin. Yeah, it connects us.
Got you.
Yeah.
I heard Yaya say to me yesterday, Yaya's another young man that I talked to yesterday, he said to me, we eat together so that we don't hate one another.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so powerful.
Because
Go ahead, sir.
Because of the connection, it connects us. We don't hate one another.
Yes.
We see one another as one.
Yes.
Yeah, because we all take from the same basin and we eat, yeah, actually.
Well, I'm going to say this on camera because this is really from the bottom of my heart. Morrow, I love you, man. It's like we've known each other like for years. Obviously, I don't speak Mandinka well. You guys are teaching me, but I just want you to know how much I appreciate you just kind of opening up, man, and being just honest and free, and just sharing with me, because it means a lot. Like knowing that we've come here and we've been able to experience all of the love that you guys have for us. I can't put it into words. So I just want to say thank you on camera because I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Denario. It's the barbaric nature of human nature. Sometimes nature can be wicked, but we are one.
Yes.
It's because of the nature that some people somewhere separated us. You went to the West, I'm still in Africa, but we are one.
Yes.
We are one and we are connected. The moment I see you as my brother. See you as my real brother, blood brother.
Yes.
So I think all black people are the same.
Yes.
It's just the nature of how things went around.
Yes.
But then we should come together and embrace one another, and then give something to our future generations, the one that we didn't get, the opportunities we didn't get. That is very much important to the black race. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Denario. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you another question. Alrighty, so I'm here with my boy Morrow again, and one of the things that I was told when I told everybody that I was going to have my 50th birthday here in Africa, and my birthday's on February 18th, they all said that's Independence Day, and I was like, what do you mean? And it's like, that's the day that Gambia was freed from Britain's rule. And so I wanted to have Morrow explain a little bit about what it looks like in Gambia on a day like February 18th. So Morrow, could you explain a little bit about the Gambian experience independence and the experience that we could look forward to on Tuesday, February 18th?
Yeah, as I said, Gambia is a country in the west coast of Africa, and they call it a smiling coast of Africa. That's the name given to it because everybody is smiling. Whether sad, not sad, anytime, just from sleep, people are just smiling. They named the place Smiling Coast of Africa. We were colonized by Great Britain, and then we got our independence in 18 February 1965. And then our political leaders struggled for so many years, since in the 19th century, 1900 up to 1965, we were free. That Britain gave us our independence. We have our own flag, high, red, white, green, white, blue. The red stands for sun, blue stands for River Gambia. Now the river, we have a river that crosses the length of the Gambia, and then green stands for agriculture. White stands for peace, because it's a very peaceful country. So this is the color of our flag. And then 18th February each year, the whole nation will come together to celebrate this day as the day we get our freedom, as this day we know that we have the power to manage our own wealth. We are free to manage our kids. We are free to do whatever we want to do. So we all come together on the 18th of February to celebrate, and that will be next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. So what we normally do is each region, we have 7 regions in the Gambia. That's the Banjul is the capital. They'll all come together. Students will be out with their teachers, soldiers, army, bands, and all these things to march around, solidarity with flags and everything. And they come to KMC, California Municipal Council, and you go to Brikama Area Council, West Coast Region, you go to LR Lower River Region, North Bank Region, Central River Region, and then Upper River Region. That's where I'm from. Father of the Up Country, that's my region, Upper River Region. Okay. So in this region, my region, we have about 3 tribes there. We have the Mandingos, the Saraulos, and then the Fulas. In other regions too, they have Jolas, this thing, so that's how we interrelated. So basically this is what we called 18th February 1965 is our independence. So this year is 55 years since we gained our independence from Great Britain.
Awesome. Man, thank you so much. Like I said, I think it's pretty cool that I'll be here to celebrate that and to see that. And it's actually on my birthday, so it's something I won't forget, obviously, because my birthday is that date every year. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it, Morrow. Okay?
You see, I told you this is why we are connected. Mm-hmm. Yes. 18th February is your independence, it's your birthday. 18th February is the birthday of the Gambia. So
Yes.
welcome Denario. Here is your home. Here is your land. Here is where we all belong to.
Thank
All
you.
the rest down there.
Right.
Welcome back home. Next time, I want Denario to come with all of you, huh?
Yeah.
You'll enjoy more.
There she goes.
Okay. Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Denario. Thank you.
Alrighty, so I have Yaya here, and I shared a little bit the other day about Yaya because we talked last night. He just kind of shared the story.
Yeah, he's my friend. How are you? How are you, everyone? Here is Africa. It's me, Ture from Gambia.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm living New Yundum, so I welcome him here for discovery. You know, he's my friend and my family from from the same mother, the same blood. You know, so I am very happy to see him in Gambia here. Maybe I wish to see him every year. Even it can be every single month. I wish that. So I will extend my greet to my favorite artist in America, Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, and many black artists. Yeah. Thank you.
ATL in Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So do me a favor. Tell everybody a little bit about what you said to me yesterday. You remember when you were talking and you said to me,
Wait.
yeah, well, remember last night you said we eat together so that we don't hate one?
Wait.
What you?
Hello everyone. It's me, Ture, from Gambia. Yeah, he's my friend. So I like to talk about little bit for my story to him because I love him, so I can tell him any secret about my story. So I was journey from Gambia to Mali, after Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Senegal, after Senegal, Mali, after Mali, Niger, after Niger, Burkina Faso, after Burkina Faso, Algeria, after Algeria, Morocco. So I could not succeed. So I want to enter to Mediterranean Sea to Europe, Italy. So it was failed. That is why. So UN take everyone to your country. So it was make me so cry. So I was going with 21 people inside Sahara Desert. So we miss each other. So they left me inside Sahara around nighttime, 10 o'clock. So I followed the light long distance. So I get one village inside that Sahara. So inside that Sahara. So that when I get the village, that is it. I get survivor. Yeah. So I get one Gambian there. He was living at Algeria First State called Borso. Yeah, so I lived there. After I lived there almost 2 months, money was my problem. Yeah, so this is my story. But I used to talk about more, but there is no more time. So I will thank my friend and all of his family in America there. So thank you everyone. I am very happy to my friend. Yeah, I am really happy to see him Gambia here. Maybe even next year, every year I want to see him in Gambia here. Thank you, my friend.
Sir.
What do you have to say?
Okay, so very shy guy, but anyway, it's a lot of things that I've learned bit here, and it's funny because me and Yaya we just met. We let go. Let me go. Yeah, put it back.
Yeah.
So we just met that yesterday. Obviously, I saw him when I first came in, but it was just funny. I said it was a God thing that we were able to talk last night. Very late. Electricity was off, and we both were up. And basically, we talked him till he was tired. But I just want you to meet the guy I talked about this morning. And this is Yaya. So meet Yaya, man. Have love for this guy.
I love
He's a
you.
really,
I love you too.
yeah, man. Really good kid, man. And
I love you.
anyway, hey, you see this face? This face is gonna be playing soccer.
Yeah.
Gonna play soccer because that's his dream. All right?
Thanks.
Signing off. Good morning. Greetings from Gambia. In the city of Serekunda. It is Monday, February 17th, one day before my birthday, and had a very interesting yesterday. So yesterday was a barbecue, another celebratory time for Barra Torre. That's the person I came with and his family, and really, really good time. So it was a whole bunch of more family members, and it's really cool because, well, it's funny because sometimes it's very confusing because everybody is introduced as my brother and my sister. Very rarely you'll hear them, say my blood brother or my blood sister, but when they say blood that it's like a direct brother or direct sister. But so you have like 30, 40 people, and they're all being introduced as my brother and my sister, and so the whole family environment is just it's amazing. I guess I'm getting used to it now. Before I was just kind of overwhelmed, like, oh my God, this is crazy. So there's a guy who has kind of been assigned to me specifically to help me get around and stuff like that. I think they think that they thought I was completely blind, and so they had him helping me out. And it was kind of funny because at first I'm like, man, if you don't leave me alone, I got this, or whatever. But then I realized it wasn't even so much that they were trying to treat me like I was completely blind, more so than it is just the nature of them to want to help and go beyond the call of duty to make sure that I'm okay. Really weird to get used to at first. But it's like now I know that it's almost offensive when I say, no, don't worry about it, I'll do it. Because when they have been given a task and they've been told to do something, they do it. And I've had to learn to say, okay, I'm sorry. Like even with the person who's taking care of us, we get 3 meals a day. They're all, prepared right before we actually get them. We go to a place where we eat, and they're cleaning for us. And so like all of the Americana and us are saying, no, we'll help and we'll sweep and this and that and the other. And they're like, no. And so sometimes it's hard because we don't want them to think that they're like slaves for us or whatever, but it's really just the nature of the people. And so with all that being said, Mama D, which I think is really interesting because we call my mama Mama D, back in California. Mama D is spelled M-A-M-A-D-I, and that stands for Muhammad. It took me a while to figure that out, but so Mama D or Muhammad is just an amazing person. He's been a person, like I said, who's been assigned to me. And he brought gifts yesterday, and he brought me this amazing ring. It's like a middle finger ring, and it has a lion on it. And, it's just crazy the way they received me, and they've been complimenting. And obviously, you guys know me, I'm a jokester, and so I make them laugh and stuff like that. But at the same time, they always tell me, you're a good man, you're a good man. And it's just crazy because obviously they've learned me in the last 8 days. But, for him to come bearing gifts, at the barbecue yesterday, and he brought gifts to all of us. It wasn't just me. And, it's just another sign of how kind these people are. And when I say again that they don't have a lot, you almost feel bad when they're bringing you gifts because it's like, no, don't do it, because we understand how hard money is and how hard it is to come by. But they're doing it from the bottom of their heart, and I couldn't be more blessed on the inside. My heart is just well in so many ways. But yeah, the celebration was really, really good yesterday, and I'm just super excited to put all of this footage together and just really give people who either think very ignorantly about Africa an idea of what's going on, but for those who desire to be here, an idea of what really goes on. And this is the crazy part. This is just the Gambia. We'll be going to Senegal this week, visiting some slave castles, and there's a place called the Point of No Return, and that's literally where the slaves would enter to never come back. And these are places that I must put my foot on the soil because I need to know how that feels. I need an ancestral feeling of what that felt like for my people. And so this is just the Gambia where we're being introduced to this type of love and fellowship and brotherhood. So it's so much more to this continent that I'm sure will just continue to amaze us. And so just wanted to come to you this morning, 6 o'clock, it's about 6:30 a.m. Here. And This another night where the electricity went off, and I finally found out yesterday it's not that the electricity goes off because they haven't paid the bill. I found out that the system is very unstable, and this is something that happens to them every day. Some days it may go off in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, sometime in the evening, and there's no set time of how long it'll be off. And I think 2 days ago was the longest, and for like 6 hours. I think yesterday it went off fairly early, and I ended up in the bed about 11:30, which was super early for me. And I don't think it came back on until like 4. But it is funny, very humbling situation, very humbling circumstances, but it's teaching me a whole lot about humility and just how good I have it back in America. So until I come back and see you again, this is Africa 2020, creating memories while leaving a legacy. I'll talk to you soon. Peace be the journey.